I will actually end my turn now, and then I will come back later and propose my amendment, and I hope that this will be supported by all colleagues. Thank you.
Point of order for Mr. Angus, yes.
Yeah, I don't think my colleague can suggest we talk about something different if it's not an amendment. I think he needs to move an amendment and then we can discuss it, because otherwise someone else could propose something else. I think he's proposed something very interesting if he would put a 7-day, and that would bring us basically up to next week anyways, our next meeting. If he would make that as an amendment, then we could discuss that, and I think that that's the proper order, that's how this goes.
Well, I would accede to Mr. Chair, I would certainly accede to the experience of my colleague, Mr. Angus, on that front. So if it is correct with you, Mr. Chair, then I would propose an amendment that we permit for the production of speakers. Sorry, my memory is failing me. Speakers Bureau to have up to 7 days to produce the material that is asked for by this committee.
Okay. Okay, I've meditated on this for the past 4 minutes because I hesitate ever to enter into a debate. But since it's a process of the committee management, I will say that our clerk has done some great work. We've communicated with the organization, and the present motion that's on the table right now would not be onerous to them, as they've stated to us that they're ready and prepared to send those documents. So if you remember, Mr. Fergus, I raised that myself and concerned that I did not want to have an organization's reputation besmirched because we put too tight of a timeline. But they have prepared the documents now and are ready to send them should this motion pass. So certainly we can go ahead with the amendment. You've asked for it to be tabled, but I thought it was right if I gave that information to the committee in that regard. Yes, Mr. Fergus, go ahead.
And I appreciate that you've taken that, you and the clerk have taken that forward step. Then, Mr. Speaker, I'll still make the amendment, but I'll be very pleased to see them satisfy the conditions of that amendment, because they could do that within 24 hours, and then that's great.
Okay, so amendment's been moved to the main motion in regards to the time frame that the documents that the Speaker Spotlight would have to deliver the documents to our committee of 7 days, and rather than the 24 hours. I believe it was 24 hours. Is that correct, Madam Clerk? And so then that's the debate on the floor at the present time.
Point of order, Chair.
Yes, Madam Shanahan. Did you want to know the speakers list?
Yes, that's right. It's a new speakers list.
Oh,
is it?
No.
Yes.
We'd continue on the same speakers list. It's just that now those who are on the list would have to be apprised of the fact that they're now speaking to the amendment rather than the main motion. So if they want to withdraw their name, they can certainly do that.
Understood.
Yeah.
These people are crazy. This is going to be a disaster.
But my point is that, come on, we're all trying to work together here and to improve this motion. I understand that we're in a minority position. I get that. But just because we're in a minority position, you can't bully us into, let's go vote for a motion that, what's the point of debating? I cannot accept that. We were all elected by our constituents. And just going forward, if we can keep that in mind when we debate, that'd be very, very helpful, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Don. Mr. Angus.
Thank you. I did put my previous motion in good faith. My amendment on the motion, I put that in good faith as an attempt to break the logjam. If we're going to see the Liberals interfering with questions about how many days is 7 days, to claim they're being bullied over the fact that one of their own members brought forward an amendment to the motion. I think it's going to burn up a lot of goodwill. I've offered this motion and my amendment in goodwill. I would never have bothered if I'd had a sense that they were just going to filibuster and filibuster. So either we're going to get to this vote or they're going to really make it clear that they have no intention of working with us and trying to get this committee off the ground.
Thank you, Mr. Angus. So, Mr. Fergus, I want to just, I have one other person on the speakers list, Madam Shanahan, but you wanted to make a point in regards to your amendment. So I just wanted to give you a moment.
Thank you for that, Mr. Sweet. I would just simply say that I meant 7 calendar days. I did not mean 7 business days.
Okay, then we have some clarity around that. Very good, Madam Shanahan.
Mr. Chair, I think we're ready to move to a vote. I'd like to call for the vote.
I think that's correct. I don't see any dissenting, so I'll leave it to the clerk for a recorded vote. And this is on Mr. Fergus's amendment, to be clear.
All those in favor, please say yay. All those opposed, please say nay when I call your name. Mr. Dong?
Yes.
Mr. Fergus?
Je suis en faveur.
I'm in favor.
Yo?
I vote in favor.
Ms. Shanahan?
Yes.
Mr. Sorbera?
Oui.
Yes.
Barrett?
Nay, against.
Monsieur Gould?
No.
Mr. Workington?
No.
Madame Gaudreau?
Oui. Yes.
And Mr. Angus?
No.
Six yeas, 4 nays.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. The amendment has passed, and now we were
Just to move on to the vote on this amendment without further delay.
okay. Mr. Barrett, I think you had put up your hand that you wanted a minute to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. Just in response to MP Shanahan's comment that I was telling a story, I'd invite her to speak to Mr. Lewis, who I believe is with their House Leader's office. I have an email chain here that supports what I said, and that the Liberal Party, the Government House Leader's office, is being non-cooperative and disingenuous in their comments that they were interested in reaching some kind of consensus. And we heard from Ms. Shanahan's colleagues that this would be the filibusters would end when there was an agreement with the House Leaders. Well, an agreement can only be reached if people respond and act in good faith. And so I would further add that it's not in good faith if someone told her a story that they didn't receive the emails and there hadn't been an attempt in discussions. This proposal was circulated to all recognized parties, to the Bloc and to the NDP and to the Liberals. And I can tell you that conversations have been two ways with both the third and fourth party, but we get radio silence from the Liberals. So that's called bad faith dealing, Chair. And to come here today and suggest that what I've said, to put on the record that they're dealing in bad faith is a story, is unfortunate. And I think that it's I think that if Ms. Shanahan would like to see the evidence that her counterclaim was in fact false, I'd be pleased to present it to her. And otherwise, I would invite her to correct the record and to offer an apology, because it's disappointing, to say the least, that when I can offer facts, the conjecture that was offered by the Liberals is not helpful. When we're looking to deal in good faith, and the Government House Leader's office is doing the opposite. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Barrett. My speakers list is empty at the moment, but since you mentioned Madam Shanahan, I just wanted to make sure if she wanted to respond to that. Madam Shanahan, no desire to respond to that? Okay, then without any more people on the list, then we'll go to a vote on the amendment. And I'll turn it over to the clerk to handle that, unless there's some objection. Seeing none, the clerk will take over from here.
A recorder vote.
Oh, yes.
Are we going to record a vote? Okay.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I would only trust the clerk to make sure that's accurate.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. All those in favor, please say yay, and all those opposed to the amendment of Mr. Angus, please say nay when I call your name. Mr. Dong.
No.
I vote in favor of the amendment. Thank you.
Mr. Fergus.
Je suis en faveur.
I'm voting in favor.
I vote in favor.
Ms. Shanahan.
Yes.
Mr. Sorbera.
Oui.
Yes.
Nay, against.
Monsieur Gould.
Monsieur Gourde, I'm against.
I vote against.
Madame Gaudreau.
Madame Gaudreau, I'm in favor of the motion.
I vote for.
The vote is 7 yeas and 3 nays, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Okay, colleagues, the amendment has passed.